Hi. So, just wanted to make a video just kind of elaborating on the post that I wrote the other day about, living that you may live, and just kind of talking about how some of my experiences have led me to having the mindset that I've got now. So I think I said in the post, when I've got it on my screen, so let me pull it up, about being unable to control things that are going on around you, but being in control of, the way you react to certain things. And I think that has definitely been something that has, for me, it's developed over time. I'd say from thinking back probably about 10 years ago, I definitely was not in that mindset. Like, I didn't believe that I had control of what was going on in my life. And, that did lead me to suffering from, like, looking back now, I know it was anxiety. I remember, being, I think I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant at the time. I was in my final year of uni, so, as you can imagine, I had so much stress on my head. I had deadlines coming out of my ears, exams, dissertation. Obviously I was pregnant at the time, so that's an additional stress. You got to worry about finances. You got to try and not be stressed because it's bad for the baby, and trying to not be stressed makes you more stressed. And then obviously my partner, I found out he was cheating on me, so that's another stress to add. So and then everything that could kind of go wrong, went wrong. I remember it was during my revision period, so I would have been about 5 months pregnant at that time. Within the space of, I think it was like a week, my granddad had a stroke, my uncle had a stroke, my cousin was in intensive care. I was obviously dealing with the fact that I found out my partner was cheating on me, pregnant, exams to revise for, assignments to finish off. I was still working because I was trying to save money. I was still doing voluntary work because I wanted it to look good on my CV. And, it was just, looking back now, I honestly don't know how I kind of got through it. It just all kind of seems like a blur. Like, that part of my life was just a blur. And I remember crying myself to sleep and having panic attacks in the night, and I never told anyone about what I was going through or how I was feeling or anything like that, because I don't know, I just didn't want it to be seen as weak. And I suppose I kind of blamed myself for obviously getting pregnant, so I kind of just thought, I just need to deal with it. This was my decision, so I've got to deal with the consequences. I think that was kind of what got me through it, knowing that I had a purpose. I knew I had to complete my degree because I had no other option, literally. If I was going to resit my exams, it would have been in August. Obviously, baby was due in September, so I didn't want to risk that. And just knew I had to. Just get through it. And that was kind of what made me kind of push through, or just knowing that hard times weren't going to last forever. I knew that it was only going to be for a period of time, and I'd get through it. And I think it was at that point I kind of started realising that as much as I couldn't control what was going on around me, I could control the way that I was responding to it. And as I said, that's been something that I've worked on over the years, and more recently, the past couple of years, I'd say. And practicing things like mindfulness, learning about how I can control my emotions, and I suppose just not accepting that where you are now is your final destination, because clearly it's not. You know, as I keep saying, the only thing that you can be certain of in life is change. Change is inevitable. Like, everything changes all the time. That's the order of, that's the order of the world. And it's just about learning different strategies that work for you. As I said, mindfulness is something that works for me. Meditation is something that works for me. In the past few years, about 4 years now, I've been 5 years, been consistently exercising, and that is something that works for me. So yeah, it's just about finding your coping strategy and seeing what it is that works for you. Also talking. Again, that was something that I didn't used to do. I didn't used to talk about my problems because I didn't want to. I didn't want to look weak. I didn't want people to think that, obviously my problems aren't major problems. They're not very traumatic or anything like that, but I suppose that doesn't take away the fact that they still caused me some kind of trauma. But yeah, it's really good to talk about things. And I think even more recently, over the past year and a bit, when I've been doing like my talks and things like that, and opening up a bit more, that's helped a lot as well. Knowing that people are hearing your kind of testimony and they're being able to relate to it, and it's helped them and given them some kind of hope, or offered them some kind of reassurance, or they've taken something from it that has made things a little bit easier for them. That again, it all builds on your resilience. It lets you know that you're doing something right and that you've overcome something, and it's about learning how you've overcome things in the past, and then using these skills or methods or techniques that you've used to overcome it, using them in the future. So yeah, and I think that's, in a way, that kind of makes me more relatable to my students, because in a lot of ways I have been where they've been. I have been thinking I'm at rock bottom and I'm going to fail and there's no way out of it and it's the end of the world. And it wasn't. So, yeah, there's always something to be thankful for. There's always a way out of something. It's just about asking for help, accepting the help, making the changes, and then learning from whatever kind of adversity you've been through, and learning how to use that to progress in future. So yeah, it's all about becoming more self-aware, showing yourself plenty of love, forgiving yourself. That's a big thing. If you can't forgive yourself, then you're never gonna be able to move forward. You need to forgive yourself for anything that you've said or done to yourself that made you feel like shit. So yeah, forgive yourself. Everyone is entitled to forgiveness, and that starts with you. So yeah, that is my message for the week. Yeah, build on your resilience, and if you need any tips, just drop me a message. Bye. Have a good weekend.